Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another exciting episode of Carving the Divine TV. My name is Yujiro Seki, and I'm the director, writer, and the producer of the documentary Carving the Divine. Carving the Divine is about the Buddhist Sculptors of Japan, and I'm ready to present it for the first time in the world. But before I do so, I thought it would be a great idea to introduce basic concept of Buddhism and the history of Buddhism so that when you guys finally watch my documentary, you guys can watch it at the maximum value. With that being said, I have an announcement today. Michael Jordan Van Huntenbelt, who's been with us for 6 months, he's going to take a break for a while because he's getting promotions and he's going to start PhD program. And he has a lot of things going on. As much as I love Michael and I love the way he presents the material, I would like to have him still, but I have to celebrate his accomplishment and hope one day he will come back and talk to us. And I'm sure he will. But meanwhile, the show must go on. So I found a perfect person who can talk about the basic concept of Buddhism and the history of Buddhism, like Michael. He is as qualified as Michael, and I'm excited because he's gonna bring a different taste to Carving the Divine TV because he has a different background. With that being said, I would like to introduce our new scholar, Frederic Hewett. Welcome, Frederic.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Yujiro. I'm very happy to be here with you tonight.
Great. I'm excited because you have such a positive vibe. So please introduce about you to somebody who doesn't know anything about you, please.
Certainly. Yes. Again, my name is Frederic Hewett, and I am the program coordinator for educational and cultural programs at the Japanese Friendship Garden in Balboa Park, San Diego. That's in California, USA. So I studied 2 years in Japan. I did part-time work there, and I majored in international relations. I've also traveled in China and Korea. I have a deep interest in Buddhist history and art. And I also am proficient in in Chinese and Japanese, which helps a lot for reading and appreciating Buddhist literature. And I also, I'm involved with a lot of nonprofits here in San Diego. So I'm very excited to be part of your show today and contribute what I know and continue this fascinating dialogue about Buddhism.
Beautiful. One thing, I'm fascinated about is as you said, you can speak Chinese and Japanese, and you can read Chinese literature and Japanese literature, which is a big plus. Because what happens is Japanese and English, they are so different languages. So sometimes during the translation process, things get lost, or sometimes people misinterpret things. So you as the coordinator, you can bridge two cultures, two distinctive cultures. So I'm very excited because you know, really, who can speak Japanese and Chinese and read Japanese and English and all that professionally. Please. Yes, I'm very excited. So I'm gonna go into the question. Last time, a few episodes ago, we talked about the entire history of Japanese Buddhism, which itself is like an impossible task by itself. But Michael did an amazing job, and we got the overall picture. Now we're gonna go into the details. So Nanto Rokushu, one of the first Buddhism came into Japan. It's worth talking about. And yes, please, Frederic, tell us a little bit about Nanto Rokushu. Why is it important?
Yes, thank you. Excellent question. So Nanto Rokushu is a very important time period in Japanese history, especially for the religion of Buddhism, because this was among the earliest encounters Japan had with China, which is where they got all of their information from. They sent a lot of people to China to study Buddhism, bring back what they learn. They had all the sutras translated, and you even had a lot of Chinese, Korean, Indian scholars living in Japan during this period. This was in the 700s CE, an 80-year period called Nara. And this was a very special time because it was very cosmopolitan. Japan was very open to all these new ideas. And they, among some of the founders, you have Ganjin, who was a blind Chinese monk who made 6 attempts to cross to Japan, because back then the navigation was very poor. So it was a dangerous endeavor to try and cross the Sea of Japan. But he believed in the salvation of the people on the island of Japan. He made multiple attempts. He lost his eyesight, and he eventually made it to the Nara capital, and he founded the Ritsu sect. And that temple still exists today. It's called Taisho Daiji, which is still there. And we also have other temples, Horyuji, founded by Shotoku, Prince Shotoku in the Asuka period 100 years before. So the 6 sects were gathered in Nara and devoted to different sects of Buddhism. Yeah, and it was very closely tied to the political social system, so it benefited the scholarly aristocratic class, who bestowed favors upon the political elite and vice versa. So towards the end of the 700s, you had Emperor Kanmu, who became very wary of this growing influence from the priest or the religious class. And he tried to distance himself by moving the capital 2 times, from Nara to Nagaoka, and once more to Heian-kyo, which is today called Kyoto. Once he moved it to Kyoto, that started a new time period called Heian.
Yeah. Wow, that's it sounds like a Nanto Rokushu, 6 schools. They had so much influence that emperor had to go to different place to kind of run away from that influence, huh?
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So as far as ordinary people go, so you said that it's only for scholars and the aristocracy. So how do the ordinary people felt about it? Did they even know about it? Or so yeah, just to briefly tell us. So what was going on for the ordinary people?
So for common society, it was a little bit more distant. I mean, you had to be literate in reading the scriptures, the sutras, and really it was, it was approached more academically. It was something of a novelty from abroad, from China, from India. But the first, earlier, 100 years before, you had Prince Shotoku, who had decreed Buddhism as the national religion of Japan. So it had some place in society, but I'm not quite sure what level.
No, I understand. So they probably knew something about it, but they don't know what they were getting into. I got it. So awesome, Frederic. So thank you so much for providing us great information. So if you guys think this information is useful, make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and like me on my Facebook, and subscribe this YouTube channel. Yes, I have all the social medias ready for you, because that's how we do it in the 21st century. So thank you very much, Frederic. So I'll talk to you next time.
Yes, it was a great pleasure, Yujiro. I'll see you and everyone next time.
Thank you. Awesome.